Hey, good morning, y'all, and it is another fine Monday morning. Um, I don't know what it's like weather-wise where you're at, but here where we are in Central Texas, the last couple of days have just been awesome. Fall is kind of slowly coming in for a day or two, and it's just been beautiful days. And so over the last couple of days, I've just been thinking about this is one of my favorite times of year, and um, how life just the way God has created everything. There's order. There's not chaos. There's order. There's a pattern to life, and the same is true for His creation. And so we have seasons. We have fall. We have winter. We have spring. We have summer, and it's true in life. There's seasons that we go through in life that are not outside of God's control, but He's still sovereign over the springtime and the winter in our lives. And so I want to share this morning from the Old Testament book of Ecclesiastes. If you know anything about Ecclesiastes, Solomon basically says, I'm going to figure out the meaning to life. And he says, I'm going to try everything this world has to offer and see if I can figure out what's best for life. And so he has the finest parties, the best food, the best drinks. We know, if you know the story of Solomon, he just has incredible wealth. But in each season that he goes through in trying to find out the meaning of life, he continually comes back to saying, "Man, this is meaningless." And at the end of the day, he realizes that the chief end of man is to follow God and to be with Him. And in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, he says this. He says, "There is an occasion for everything and a time for every activity under heaven. A time to give birth and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. There's a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to avoid embracing, a time to search and a time to count as lost, a time to keep and a time to throw away. There's a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to be silent and a time to speak. There's a time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace." What he tells us in chapter 3 there is life is full of different times, different seasons. Where there is a time for birth, there's also a time for death. Where there is a time for celebration, there's also a time for mourning. We had the privilege to go to a family member's wedding this past weekend. And during the reception, it wasn't like a crazy huge reception or anything, but they did the deal. We haven't done this in a while, where all the married couples go out on the dance floor and they slowly count down how many years you've been married until the last couple dancing has been married the longest. And this, like I said, we haven't done this at a wedding in a long time, and it was weird to me how little people were left when we walked off the dance floor. There has been so many seasons that have come in life, and one thing that I know, whether it's a good season, whether it's a season of plenty or a season of famine, God has seen us through each and every one of those. He's been good, He's been faithful, He's been gracious and merciful to us in those seasons. And so I want to encourage you today, no matter what season of life you may be in, trust that God sees you and that He's taking care of you in that moment. The song I want to share this morning is a song that just says, "I will sing no matter what life brings." I am going to sing because at the end of the day, the same thing that Solomon says in Ecclesiastes I've found to be true, that you can gain everything this world has to offer, but at the end of the day, what satisfies life, what satisfies the heart of man, is to know God and to walk with Him. So I hope this is encouraging to you. I hope you have a great week, and just continue to cling to Him no matter what season this life may bring. Love y'all. In joy and in sorrow, in plenty and in want, you are my comfort in every season. You hold me fast in your arms, and you're my strength when I'm weakest. And though I fail, your love never will. Jesus, you are my treasure. You are greater than anything in this world. In calm and in chaos, in peace and anxiousness, you are my rest. Every worry, you hold me tight in your hand. And you're my strength when I'm weakest. Though I fail, your love never will. Jesus, you are my treasure. You are greater than anything in this world. So I will sing of my Redeemer, who purchased me as His own.